In this video, I'm going to solve lead generation for you. All right, so if your lead generation is inconsistent, it's unpredictable, you're booking like 5, 10, 20 calls a month or fewer, then I'm going to solve this for you so you can actually book at least 30, 50, 100 calls, however many calls you want, and actually make a consistent and predictable system. All right, so just for reference, just for some proof points. So today, just on the calendar, so time of this recording is Friday, September 20th. So my sales rep, he has 6 calls on the calendar so far today. Hopefully you can see that. And I actually have, if we do the full team here, I think I have just 3 today. So we're looking at, here's our full calendar. So I think we have 9 calls today. All right, so far. We might get another 1 or 2 more booked, we'll see. But this is the question, this is the golden question. How is that our company here, we're booking, 6 to 10 calls every single day, and other people are only booking 6 to 10 calls in a whole month? What is the difference? What's actually going on here? So let's break it down. So at the premise, first principles of why this is happening, is there's this equation that takes place that's very simple. It's completely transform how you see lead generation. All right, so first, we have to ask the question, why do people book calls in the first place? Why are they booking a discovery or sales call with you in the first place? All right, they have to have incentive. They have to actually want to book a call with you. People forget this, but people aren't just booking calls for fun or for whatever. They must have incentive of, hey, if I book this call, I could solve this really painful problem of mine. All right, that's the incentive. And so to basically give them some sort of confidence that, hey, to some degree, I think this might solve this painful problem in my life, you have to have a compelling offer. All right, you have to have a compelling proof point of, hey, I could probably solve this problem for you. So people forget this. And so that's the very first component of this equation is your offer and how compelling it is, how strong it is, how much people actually believe it's actually going to solve the problem. All right, so that's the first thing. And this is everyone talks about the offer, but it's so true. If you have a really, really good offer, just by changing that one thing, you're going to book more calls, you're going to have more people show up, more people are going to close, just because that one thing has changed, because that's the foundation of your business. All right, a business that has, a 9 out of 10 offer is simply going to make more money than a business that has, a 5 out of 10 offer if you have the same traffic. It's just how it works. So that's the first thing. You really just need to make it as good as humanly possible. How do you do that? So you can do this by number 1. First of all, make sure your offer is actually solving the core, most painful problem in your target market. All right, so this is done through market research, seeing, okay, what is the actual most painful problem that people are, experiencing right now? And actually speaking to that problem. A lot of times people just create offers out of thin air for what they enjoy doing themselves, what they're passionate about, which is the worst thing you can possibly do. Or that's selfish. And businesses do not succeed for selfish reasons. They only succeed when you actually serve a target market and you solve painful problems, you provide value in the market. That's the only reason your business exists. All right, so you must solve that painful problem and then communicate that in a compelling way where people actually believe you can solve it. And this is done through communicate, it could be case studies, client results. All right, could be your own personal transformation story. All right, if you're selling weight loss and you've lost 100 pounds yourself, that's a compelling proof point, compelling story. All right, that's proof right there. Could also be a risk reversal. All right, this could be, hey, get this result or you don't pay. Get this result or, we'll triple your money back. Whatever it is. All right, making a really compelling risk reversal where it truly seems like there's no risk for the prospect to take action. All right, and the guarantees, these risk reversals, honestly, the whole point of them, vast majority of the time, people don't actually say yes because they don't actually buy, but it's the reason they get on the call in the first place. All right, it's a thing that catches their eye, oh, wow, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. Let me at least talk to this guy. It's the reason they book. So you want to communicate these things in whatever lead generation mechanism you're using, whether it's ads, whether it's outbound, whether it's content. They have to see these things, and that's what's going to actually convince them to book a call. All right, so that's the first thing is your offer. That's the first component. The second component is going to be traffic. All right, traffic. So if you think of this at a very basic level, if you have just an amazing, truly irresistible offer for your target market, and you just put that offer in front of more humans in the target market, what is going to happen? Well, it's an equation. You're going to book more calls. You're going to have more leads. You're going to make more sales. It's just how it works. All right, so if you have a 9 out of 10 offer and you put that in front of 1,000 humans, let's say, 90 convert into a book call or whatever.
All right. That's the equation. And so what you can do, the only two levers you can pull are going to be efficiency. So making the offer more compelling, making your conversion mechanism more, efficient, or more humans, more traffic. That's it. That's really all you can do is put your offer in front of more humans or make your offer better. Like that is it. That's all there is to it. And so if you're only booking 3, 4, 5, 10 calls a month, very low, or if it's super inconsistent, what's going on is this equation is messed up for you. All right. You might not have a very compelling offer. It might just not be very efficient where you're putting it in front of a bunch of humans, but it's just like no one's interested, no one's converting. Or you could be not putting it in front of enough humans. Like I've talked to someone like a month ago, and I remember he was telling me, oh, well, I'm doing outbound. I sent 100 in the past month. And I was like, 100 in a month? We send out more than 100 in a day. Like that's just terribly low volume. A lot of people don't realize what volume is actually required. Or you have to put your offer in front of just way more humans than you think. Way more humans, like 10x, 100x the number you're doing right now. And that'll give you sufficient volume to actually book calls. All right, so those are the two big things, efficiency and volume. All right, so that's what is going on right now. And another thing that you can do to really make this as easy as possible for you. So let's say there's a problem in the efficiency, for example. Like you're putting your offer in front of a bunch of people, but no one's interested. Like no one really cares. No one's booking calls. What's going on here? Well, what you have to do is you have to deploy metrics. Our metrics are a superpower because one of the biggest mistakes that I made in a while in my businesses is just making like decisions based off my gut, or maybe what one prospect would tell me. They're like, I actually don't like how you do this. Like you should do it like this way instead. Like some random person on the internet would tell me how to run my business. And I'll be listening, I'm like, oh, okay, Mr. Prospect, let me change this whole, client acquisition system for you, which is just stupid. You have to make data-driven decisions. That's the big lesson here. And how you do that is through metrics. And so throughout your client acquisition system, throughout your lead generation system, you need to deploy metrics at each step of the system. All right. When you do this, you'll have conversion rates at each step. All right. What percentage of people click? What percentage of people opt in? What percentage of people book a call? And when you have these metrics, you can clearly look at them and see what is the bottleneck. Where is the drop off in flow? All right, maybe people click and then they don't opt in. So boom, huge drop off right there. And so, okay, we know this landing page, this ad or whatever, we have to change this part of it, this stimuli at this part of the system. And you know what's the bottleneck because you can see through conversion rates. You can see through metrics, numbers, mathematics. And mathematics do not lie. All right, always make data-driven decisions, not gut decisions, not emotional decisions. Like this is how it works. And also, when you have metrics in your lead generation system, what happens? You can get predictability. All right, because think about it. Predictability. How do you actually get predictability? All it is being able to reverse engineer what are the inputs I need to put into the system to get the outputs I desire, to get the calls booked I desire. So if you want to book 10 calls, a day like us, you need metrics. All right, if I know for a fact, okay, all we have to do is spend this much on ads or send this many messages or create this amount of content, and we know for a fact this will lead to this many calls booked, that's all you have to do. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's none of that. It's just, hey, do the inputs in the system that's required to get the outputs that you want. And that's only achievable through metric. When you know your conversion rates, if I know it's 20% here, 50% here, whatever it is, I just reverse engineer the math. I'm like, okay, cool, so this means do this inputs. And we book 10 calls a day, boom, that's how it works. That is how it works. All right, so that is the big lesson here. If you do this stuff, you actually implement this, it is impossible to fail over a long enough time horizon. You might have to test, a stimuli in like part of your lead gen system, but you can't fail. You just have to test new things. All right, if something's not converting, you have to test a different stimuli to increase the efficiency. That is the game. That's how it works. And people are just quick because they don't understand this. They're just guessing. They're just doing random things. They're not doing enough volume. And they think it's just like, oh, this doesn't work. But you're just not doing it correctly. You're not doing the process correctly. All right, so this is how you book, 10 calls a day for your business. If you are an online coach and you want to just learn our whole entire paradigm, all of our systems for lead generation and sales to book you just a boatload of calls, at least 30 to 50 per month. But if you want to scale, you can obviously book 100, 200 plus a month. Go ahead and click the link below. I'll work with you one-on-one. I'll share and license out all of our systems for doing so to help you scale and add at least 10 to 30K a month to your business, if not more. All right, so click that link if you are an online coach and you are interested. If not, thanks so much for watching. You're a legend. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.